Yo, what up fam, it's Phantom. In this new video series, we're going to be going over the most efficient way to play Pokemon Planet. We're going to start a brand new account and tell you all how to get through this game in a quick and fun way to get you all to the end game grind to get those legends. If you guys like this video and want to see more, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, as I'll be putting out more of these videos for you all to enjoy. Before we get any further, if you enjoy my YouTube content, make sure you also check out the Twitch stream. Link in the description. All right, so I did this character creation. I literally just hit randomize on every single basic hair, face, and clothes, because that's the most efficient way to play the game, obviously. And this is what we came up with. We look like an angry old man who has seen a lot. So let's get into this. Let's finish. Are you done customizing? Yes. So in this video series, I'm going to try to be very concise and get you guys all the information as quickly as possible. So let's get into the settings. I know that this is an important part that people need to understand. Here are the settings that I have on my main account. Fast battles are turned on. Disable battle music, I turn that off. The music in this game is not the greatest, just saying. I usually turn my music volume also down to 0% because I don't care to hear the music. Show and move info during battles, yes. Disable battle move animations, yes. Turn that off. Disable weather animations, turn that off. I allow swearing because I don't really care. But I keep these two unchecked. Everything else I keep checked. I want to still have friend requests, and I'm okay with global notifications. But if you guys aren't, you can turn those off. But in efficiency wise, this is the most efficient way to have your settings. You want fast battles and disable battle move animations for sure. If you want to keep them on at the beginning just to see, that's totally fine. That's one way you can do it. But if you want the most efficient way, you by far turn those off. One other thing I want to make sure you guys understand as we go to the professor's lab, you need to make sure to check /guide. So you hit enter in chat and do /guide, and it'll instantly pull up YMA's guide to everything. This thing literally has everything that you're going to need in regards to content. In regards to, if you have a question, check the guide. It'll most likely be answered there. If it's not, make sure to watch this video. I would love to answer questions that aren't in that guide. But that is a very, very good guide to go over. Before we go into Professor Oak Lab, we're also going to be talking about the credit shop. So the credit shop is somewhere where you can spend real money to get credits to buy things in game. There are three things that you're going to want to look at in this shop right off the start in regards to efficiency, and that is GM tickets and mounts. And mounts are on this other tab. So for now, we're going to talk about GM. GM gives you can do either 30-day, 7-day. You can also win if you beat the Kanto Elite Four, you get 1 GM ticket. You beat the Hoenn or the Johto, you get a 3-day. Hoenn, you get the 7-day. So that's a way to get a GM ticket and to use gold membership for free. I'll also go over how to buy that in the shop when we get to that portion of the video. But for now, with credits, if you guys want to know what the most efficient thing to spend money on right now when you start the game is to either get a GM ticket or a mount. You can get a mount later in the game for 50,000 Poké Dollars, and that sounds expensive, but it's really quick to get. So a mount isn't terribly the most efficient thing to buy, but at the very beginning, if you have some money to spend, real life money, and you put in the game, you want to enjoy the game, the best way to do it, I would buy a mount and then also a GM ticket. I would think the GM ticket is probably your better bet. You get 50% more XP and money, 50% encounter rates on different rarity Pokemon, and a 20% shiny rate, as it says right here if you can't read. Why that's so important, 50% XP and money is probably the most important part of this. That will help. That's not double, that's just 1.5 times, but it helps a lot in the long run. At the beginning, if you only have time to buy a GM ticket and you maybe only have 7 days or 30 days, I would wait until you beat the Kanto Elite Four. You do not need this. Hell, even maybe the Johto Elite Four, you don't need a GM ticket to beat those. And I will show you in this series how quickly you can beat this game without worrying about that. But right off the bat, if you guys are wondering what the best thing to buy off the credit shop, if you're willing to spend money, I would say either a GM ticket or a mount. I always go for the 30-day GM ticket, but I will not be buying a GM ticket in this series unless I buy it with in-game money, and we'll go over that later. But let's go into the Pokemon lab and let's go talk to Professor Oak. Professor Oak is, if you guys obviously don't know, where you're going to get your first starter Pokemon. I'm going to be talking about what is the most efficient starter Pokemon. So there's Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is by far the most efficient Pokemon, and I will tell you why. You go against the first gym leader, Brock. Then you go against the second gym leader, Misty, and then finally in the third gym leader, which is when you'll start to switch a Pokemon, and we'll get into that when we get there, Bulbasaur will go even with Lieutenant Surge. So Bulbasaur sweeps Brock, Misty, and goes even with Lieutenant Surge. Squirtle sweeps Brock, goes even, actually it's ineffective against Misty, and is very ineffective and gets killed by Lieutenant Surge. Charmander is literal doo-doo water against Brock and Misty, and then goes even with Lieutenant Surge. Bulbasaur is by far the most efficient choice at the beginning of the game. When you get to the point where Bulbasaur will no longer be applicable to our team, which will be Erica at the 4th gym, you will have already caught a Gyarados, well, a Magikarp that turns into a Gyarados, that we will be using for the rest of our playthrough through both Kanto and Johto. And it will help on the team in Hoenn, and I will show you how to get through Hoenn if we get there, but I'm going to only guarantee that we're going to get through Kanto before anything else. But we're going to come up to Route 1 so you can get a Pidgey and a Rattata. To be honest, neither of those are going to help you against Brock. They're not going to be that helpful against Misty. They're neither going to be that helpful against Lieutenant Surge, so I would highly suggest you just skip the Pokemon here. It's not worth catching. You may want to grind up your Bulbasaur a bit if you want to. When we get to Brock, you'll see that it's not necessarily needed, but if you want to, you can. Level 1 Pidgey, absolutely. I would say as well, make sure not to catch the level 1s. It's not a big deal. We'll go further in the game and you'll see how you can catch a little better Pokemon, especially if you want to help with Brock. But let's go up to the Pokemon Center now. We'll find a few Pokemon on the way, and that is totally fine. We can get some XP for Bulbasaur, who needs it very badly, because we do need to get some XP so we can beat Brock. So when you walk into a Pokemon Center, know that you do not have to talk to Nurse Joy when you walk in here. In Pokemon Planet, all you have to do is walk into a Pokemon Center and your Pokemon will automatically be healed. That just saves you a little bit of time. I know it took me a while to recognize that in the game, but that's really, really helpful. Unlike the original Pokemon games, you do not have to go to the mart to pick up the parcel to bring back to Professor Oak to get the Pokedex. If you hit P, you automatically get your Pokedex. As you see, we've seen 2 Pokemon and caught 0. It does not count Bulbasaur as a catch. It will count Ivysaur and Venusaur as a catch when you evolve them, but it does not count a Pokemon as a catch, as caught until you've actually caught the Pokemon yourself. You can't even trade for it. It will not count in your caught Pokedex. Here is where you can buy all kinds of things. You can instantly buy Ultra Balls. Everything that you buy into this game in the Pokemart will be here always. You don't have to get to certain gyms to buy Ultra Balls and things like that, but obviously your money's going to be quite low at the very beginning, so you're probably only going to be able to buy Pokeballs. I'll buy a couple. I think you'd actually start off with a couple. Yes, you start off with 10, 5 potions, repels, 5 escape ropes. The good thing about escape ropes, we can go over that since we've talked about it. Escape ropes, when you use one, send you back to the last Pokemon Center you have visited. So the last one was in Viridian City, which is where I am now. If I used my escape rope now, it would take me back to Viridian City Pokemon Center. That's really helpful. When we get further in the game, you're definitely gonna need to know that. So we've got our Pokeballs. We can head out. We don't have anybody blocking us like in the main games as well. You don't have the man with the coffee like in the original series. You don't have to go through all that. You can just go straight to the straight up and go right to Brock if you wanted to. Go right into the Viridian Forest. But we're not going to get there yet. We are actually going to go over to Route 22 because there is a Pokemon you can catch here that you guys are definitely going to want to use if you didn't start with Bulbasaur. If you didn't start off with Bulbasaur and you are wanting to go for another Pokemon, I would suggest you raise your Pokemon to about level 7 or 8 to try and find the other Pokemon. And the best way to do that is to probably come down here into Route 1. Route 22 to the left, and we'll get to that, has a little higher level Pokemon and it's a little harder. So the best bet is probably just to grind up a bit here. I'm going to grind Bulbasaur to level 7 real quick so you guys can see. And I just used Growl on accident, but I will let you guys know once we get to that point. And I'll actually show you, since we did make that mistake, what you can do so you can be efficient in your grinding. When you click on your Pokemon, you can see what it got. I got Corky, which is no effect, which isn't terrible. I got a really high special attack and decent special defense and defense. Wow, so my IVs aren't terrible. But what you can do is you can go to your moves and you can move tackle to 1. So that means it is on my 1 button when I go into battle, which is the most efficient way to play this beginning part. So I hit fight, which is 1, and tackle, which is 1, which is the best way to go about. You should always have your best move on 1 so you can just spam 1 right when you get into the battle. And it's going to help a lot, especially when you have to come back and forth quite a bit when you're fighting these things. And as this Pokemon should get us to level 7, I will show you we will be at less than 100%, but when we kill it, look, our Pokemon heals back. So in this game, when you level up, your Pokemon will get to the next level and it'll heal up all the way, which is really, really helpful when you're grinding, especially at these low levels. You're at 22, and we can talk about what you can catch if you're not either choosing Bulbasaur or if you want another teammate. If you don't think that you want to just be playing with one Pokemon, this is the next best thing to get right away. So you go to the left, and this is Route 22. Let's do some math. Mankey is a Pokemon that has a 1 in 50 encounter rate. If you have gold membership, it's 1 in 40. I've tested this route and I got about 7 encounters per minute. You take the 1 in 50 encounter rate and divide that by 7, which equals 7.14, or a little over 7 minutes. The nature and IVs of the Mankey won't be too important, but if you want to have this as part of your main team, you're looking for a Mankey with either Jolly or Adamant natures with high IVs and speed and attack. If the last 2 sentences were a foreign language to you, don't worry too much. Just look for a Mankey and you should be fine. We'll go over it in another video with IVs, EVs, natures, etc. I've also linked a guide in the description talking about the competitive Pokemon if you want to learn more about that before, but essentially if you don't know what's going on, just get a Mankey, you'll be fine. Mankey learns low sweep at a very low level, which will help you through this tremendously. It's super effective against both Brock's Pokemon, and we'll go over this Pokemon when we get to Brock, but just know that Mankey is a really, really solid Pokemon to have. If you don't choose Bulbasaur, or if you want another member in your team, damn it, I just died. If you want another member in your team that can help you throughout this series, Mankey will definitely help you through Brock. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I know we went over some really basic stuff in this video, and we'll be getting more into the nitty gritty and the more advanced stuff as this series goes on, and another video. So make sure you still tune in. If you guys like this video again though, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, check me out on Twitch. I will see you guys in the next video.